Hello and welcome to the Investing Collective. I'm Rory and today I'm going to be interviewing the founder of the Investing Collective to give a better understanding of what the Investing Collective does and why it is so important. Without further ado, Jock, welcome to the podcast.
Rory, thank you very much indeed for that introduction.
So could you give us a quick breakdown of what you do and why you do it?
So my name's Jock Glover. I'm the founder of the Investing Collective. It's an idea that was launched earlier this year to bring better investment insights to those people that make their own investment decisions in the UK marketplace.
Would you be able to give a breakdown, let's step back from the Investing Collective and think before the Investing Collective what you did and how you ended up here with the Investing Collective?
Yeah, so I've spent nearly 31 years working in the city, as it were, so in fund management, investment management. I've been a private client wealth manager, I've been a private client stockbroker, I've run sales teams, I've run research teams, and the idea of the Investing Collective came about because of the increasing number of people who are looking after their own investments and are perhaps using social media and online tools to get information about where they should be investing.
I see, and that's having a big effect on what they're investing in the wrong stocks or?
They might or might not be, but I think there's lots of information out there. Some of it's not as useful and helpful and accurate as it might be. The regulator has already flagged that he's concerned that some of that information out there shouldn't be there.
Okay.
So the point of the Investing Collective is to give a focus, to give a portal where people can get targeted independent content that is compliant, and it's information from investment managers about what they're doing in their portfolio. So you're getting it straight from the horse's mouth.
So what you're doing, what does the Investing Collective do? You go and speak to the asset managers and speak to them?
Yeah, so effectively we interview a fund manager,
right,
and we'll host that interview on our YouTube channel, which will allow people to go onto that YouTube channel, listen to the interview and hear from the fund manager directly in the same way that a professional investor would be able to, what they're doing, how they're thinking, what that does to the portfolios and the implications that might bring for you if you decided to invest with them.
And that's much better than getting the information from social media because it is from the asset managers themselves.
Well, it's not giving advice, and I think it's important to say that. What we're doing is making sure that that information that is widely available within the professional investors community is brought into the wider investment space so that anybody who is doing investments can hear from the fund managers what they're doing, why they're doing it, and then make a better informed decision or go and discuss that information with their advisor if that's what they want to do.
For people like myself, they might not understand what asset managers actually do. Could you break that down for us?
Yeah, so I don't think most people in the UK would realise this, but asset managers are incredibly important to everybody in the UK, and almost everyone in the UK's lives will be touched by them, even if they don't realise it.
Okay.
So what an asset manager is someone who is, the name says it really, taking assets and looking after them on behalf of other people, and they'll have an objective what that they're meant to be trying to achieve.
And the assets can be all sorts of things.
It can be all sorts of things. It can be in equities, it can be in bonds, it could be cash. So equities is where companies issue shares, where you own part of a company.
Okay.
So you might own part of Tesco's. Bonds is where companies need to borrow money to invest in their businesses,
yeah,
and they borrow money from you and they'll pay you an interest rate for that. And so there are different types of investments out there, and they'll be doing it in different regions as well, the US, emerging markets, Europe, the UK, etc.
So what does the Investing Collective actually do then?
So we interview the fund managers,
right,
who are running investment trusts, ETFs and funds.
Whoa. What's an ETF and all that?
So investment trusts, ETFs, which
right,
is an exchange traded fund,
okay,
and the other one is an OIC, it's an open-ended investment company. Those are effectively just wrappers around a collective investment vehicle.
Okay.
And a collective investment vehicle is where lots of people pool their money together and give it to a professional investor to run on their behalf. And by pooling their money together, they get the benefits of scale. It costs them less money to do so, rather than being able to, they might be able to invest in areas they couldn't do themselves directly. So that's what those companies' names are. Okay. They're just different types of wrappers doing the same job.
Breaks from that, so what does the Investing Collective do with all these ETFs and whatnot?
So we interview the fund manager,
right,
and ask the fund manager the same questions that a professional fund selector would ask them. Who are they? What's their objective? What are they trying to achieve in terms of their investments? What's driven their performance? Which will then give people listening to the YouTube channel the ability to get that same information and insights themselves as the professional investment community can by listening to those interviews with fund managers.
So in a quick summary from that, the Investing Collective's main aim is to go and interview the investing managers and film a podcast and YouTube video, which people can then listen to give people benefit in investing and their better knowledge, informed knowledge, is that right?
Yeah, so we're just trying to make sure that they've got the right knowledge direct from the horse's mouth,
right,
in terms of what fund managers are doing, why they're doing it, and then they can make better informed decisions from that. And that is through the medium of using a YouTube video and podcast.
There's lots to think about there. Jock, thank you very much for coming onto the podcast.
Rory, thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
The Investing Collective makes no warranties or representations regarding the accuracy or completeness of the information contained in the podcast. This information represents the views of the interviewer and the interviewees at the date of issue, but that may be subject to change without reference or notification. The Investing Collective does not offer investment advice nor make recommendations regarding investments. The content of this podcast is not deemed to constitute financial or investment advice in any way and shall not constitute a regulated activity for the purposes of the Financial Services and Markets Act 2000. This podcast shall not constitute nor be deemed to constitute an invitation to induce an individual to engage in an investment activity. And should you decide to make any investment decisions based on the information contained in the podcast, you're advised to seek appropriate advice before taking those actions, and you do so at your own risk. Thank you for listening.